I think we can start now. Good morning to every one of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope all is fine at your home and family. And all well, Alhamdulillah. Thank each one of you because of prayers from every one of you. I am back, and so are our several other teachers who suffered minor problems here and there, but all is well. So all His grace, and we may perhaps continue. I had a detailed discussion with the chairman of department, Professor Wali Saab, and I also took an update concerning the sessional and exams and several other things. Especially I was concerned about the coverage of syllabus. So when I discussed with him about the coverage of syllabus, and also with some of the students with whom I am in touch, so I was quite comfortable that most of them have reached more or less at the same stage, a bit more, could be 5-10 more than what I left you with. I mean, just like that, I took some extra classes. I was thinking that later it may be of help to me. Somehow I had no idea that it was destined like that only. It was good that we could, engage those classes. Before I continue, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about the screen?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen also visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Fine. So let me continue then. So what I was saying, that somehow we are more or less at the same. In some courses, 4th unit is about to be finished. In some courses, 5th unit is about to be started. So we have another 10 classes to go. When I took your last session, it was our 33rd or 34th class, if I can remember it correctly, including some of the remedial classes that I took. So the remaining part of your course, which we shall start, because roughly 2 to 3%, at best 5% of the topic that we were discussing was left uncovered, that I finished today. So the remaining portion of your course, which concerns with cost accounting, is quite easy also. So we don't need to take many classes there. It has nothing to do with the hardcore accounting concept, although some examples will be there, but it is more of elementary mathematics type, calculating percentages and all, but it is naturally, our focus will be only on the books of accounting, how to interpret them, how to explain them. That is naturally will be there, but not hardcore accounting. So it will be easier also to follow. Now let us go to where we were when we took the last class. If I am mistaken, one of you can remind me. Let me start with, we were talking about the fund flow statement. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We were discussing fund flow statement. In fund flow statement, let me just check where we. In fund flow statement, I had used this data, which is on your slide. There were 5 steps. Those steps I had explained to you, changes in calculating working capital. One of you can take the responsibility of saying yes or no, and if he is somehow may not be correct, then one of you, someone you can correct him or correct me also. So we had finished our discussion on changes in net working capital. Yes? Or you don't?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. In case there is any discrepancy, immediately point it out. We will correct ourselves. We had finished our discussion in changes on fixed assets.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this respect, if I can recall correctly, I must have also shown to you or explained to you by preparing various accounts, that is So which side is opening balance written, which side is closing balance written, etc., etc. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we should have also completed our discussion on changes in long-term liabilities like equity, preference shares. Why should we? Which side should we open the account? Which side should we write? So this also we should have completed. This is of summary. That is, we would have seen the balance sheet and all. Then this is the important one. I should have also explained to you how to calculate the changes in, how to calculate the funds from business operations, the one that I am highlighting. Was this also discussed? How to calculate funds from business operation? The one that I have.
No, sir.
Sorry?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Not discussed. Okay. Then in that case, let me go back to the previous slide. Look at the slide. Look at the balance sheet given in one of the previous slides. I also requested you to have a print of it, which some of you may not have, but do follow the advice. I know it is difficult to run back and forth this slide, that slide, move among the windows or between the two windows. So if you have a print of it, it becomes easier. If not now, but for future, whenever any instruction is given, try to follow it. So if you look at the balance sheet, you would find, suppose you come to the asset side, you will find fixed assets, you will find current assets, you will find fictitious assets. Can any one of you name some fictitious assets?
Sir, goodwill, copyright, patents.
Okay, those of you who are not from commerce, it is specifically with them. Look at the asset side of balance sheet. Look at the assets which we classify as fictitious assets. What are they? And if you do not know, you ask me. Okay, take it in another way. Look at the balance sheet, asset side of the page that was given to you, the one that I just referred to you. Let me show you the one which is here, this one. On this balance sheet, you know what is the asset side. It is appearing on our right hand side, building, machinery, furniture. What are the other assets? Can someone read it out loudly? What are the other assets given in the balance sheet other than three which I have read? What is this asset?
Cash. Bank.
Wait. Cash. Which asset is this?
Sir, we can't see the screen, sir. I can't see the screen, sir. It blacked out.
Can't you see the screen?
No, sir. I'm
It is visible.
Okay, sir. Now I am able to see it.
Okay. Now, which asset is this cash?
Current asset.
Current assets. Which asset is this? Bank. Which asset is this bank?
Sir, it's also a current asset.
It is also current asset. Which asset is this last one which is given in the balance sheet? Fill them in the expenses.
Very expensive.
Fictitious asset.
It is fictitious asset. So that is why I was telling you, look at the balance sheet. You will find some categories of assets listed under the heading of asset. We should know very categorically, very specifically which asset is this. Now come to the slide which I was discussing, the summary. Look at the balance sheet given in one of the previous slides. You have fixed assets, you have current assets, you have fictitious assets. Now look at the liabilities side. You have long-term liabilities, you have reserves and surplus, and you have profit and loss account. Up till now, in this topic, what are the topic under discussion? Fund flow statement. In this topic, up till now, what we have done? You have done with fixed assets, current liabilities, and long-term liabilities. How to treat this in the preparation of fund flow statement, that aspect you have learned in the balance sheet. Whatever data is given in the balance sheet, how to use this data for the preparation of funds flow statement, you have considered these 4 things there. If still there is any problem in any one of these 4, I can explain to you. If not, then I'll explain to you what to do with the remaining items which we have not done. So I will come to those items which we have not considered, and in the process it will be over. Now come to the balance sheet again. This was the one. See, this is the advantage of having a print. Suppose the print is there, we can always say the building we have done, machinery we have considered, furniture we have considered, etc., etc. Equity we have considered, debenture we have considered, preference shares we have considered. Now reserve we have not considered. Is it right? Reserve we have not considered, profit loss we have not considered, creditors, bank overdraft, bills. So it means now you take a piece of paper, you take a pen and paper, write down on with the pen on paper, make a note. I am just noting it down for my ease also. Make a note. In the liability side, we have not done yet, we have not considered reserves, we have not considered profit and loss account. The rest of the figures of liability side we have done. I am repeating. In the liability side, we have not done anything with reserve. We have not made any calculation with respect to profit loss account. The rest of the liability side we have done. Do you agree? Is that clear what I have said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 2 items of liability side we have not considered. Now come to the asset side. What are the items that we have not considered of the asset side? I'll move the cursor. Building, yes. Machinery, yes. Furniture, yes. Cash, yes. Bank, yes. Debtors, yes. Stock also, yes. Now discount on share, have we done or not? We have not. Preliminary expenses, have we considered? We have not. No, correct. That means 4 items in the entire balance sheet are yet to be considered. We were given a balance sheet. In the balance sheet, all items we have made calculations, but except these 4. Now these 4 items will be considered in the last step. What is the last step? Once again, we come to the step that we were discussing. I am referring to this back and forth. Figure of reserve and profit loss, fictitious assets remain to be attended to. Correct? These will be used to take in last step, that is step number 4. How do we do that? I'll explain to you today. I'll explain to it now. Calculation of funds from business operations. Before I come to this slide, I'll give you some preliminary or brief description of those. Then I'll come to this slide. So we go back to the balance sheet and explain to you. For example, let us start with the first item, reserve. In the previous year it is 10,000. In the current year it is 15,000. What conclusion can we draw? Any answer?
So 5,000 profit this year was kept as reserves, additional reserve.
Speak a bit louder.
So 5,000 profits this year were kept as set aside as reserves.
Any other answer?
The reserve has increased from 5,000.
Any other answer from any one of you?
Sir, 5,000 of revenue is kept aside as a reserve.
5,000 of revenue is kept aside as a reserve. Okay. What was the answer given first? 5,000 of
Net profit.
net profit. So one of you is saying if 5,000 rupees of net profit was kept aside as a reserve. Someone of you is saying 5,000 worth revenue was kept aside in this year. Any other answer? any other explanation, or the entire class agrees with one of these explanations? One of these could be correct. Your learning will be faster, better, will serve the purpose only if you listen to each other, try to understand, agree, disagree. Otherwise, what is the purpose of class? I send you notes, I can record my lecture, send you, and you listen to them, supplement with the book, with other notes, and that's all. The purpose of class should be like class only. If someone is saying 5,000 worth of profit has been kept as a reserve in this year, someone is saying 5,000 rupees worth of revenue has been considered in this year. Which one is the correct, by the way, if one of them is correct?
Net profit.
Profit.
So profit.
Profit. What is the difference between profit and revenue?
So you deduct
Revenue minus expense.
Revenue means gross earning that you receive. If you sell goods, the money that you receive is called revenue. If you extend some services, if you offer some services, if your company offers consulting, so the money that it receives is a revenue. But profit is equal to revenue minus expenses. So it seems to be a better explanation that 5,000, sorry, not 5,000. Okay, 5,000 worth of profit has been considered as reserve. We need further explanation of this, rather more explanation, or I should say, we need to elaborate this. What happens in the companies when they earn profit? So they make use of this profit for several things. Usually 4 or 5 items are there, 3 or 4 standard heads are there on which the profit earned is spent. When a company earns profit, it uses profit in certain defined heads. What could be those heads? See, in order to understand the last step of profit, last step of fund flow statement, it is necessary to understand these concepts, these procedural parts. Only then our understanding about it will be correct. So when we, the question I asked, that when company earns profit, what should it do with the profit it has earned? What should it do with the profit it has earned? Come on, yes?
Buying assets.
Okay, number 1 you say buying asset, okay. Any other?
It may give dividend to shareholders or may reserve.
It may give dividend to shareholders. Those of you, wait. It may give dividend to shareholders. Those of you who have not understood this statement, your friend has made a statement that it can give a dividend to shareholder. It is more or less a little bit of an accounting language. If you have understood all, if each one of you have understood this statement, what your friend has made, I will proceed. If some of you still has problem in understanding, you ask me. If somebody asks you in further simple language, that what is the meaning of distribution of dividend to shareholders, can someone explain? Okay, just maybe a bit more I'll explain to you. A shareholder, is a person who purchases share in the company. It means he is investing. He could have done business on his own. He could have put his money in bank. He could have purchased land. He could have purchased building with the intention to make profit. So what he decided? He decided to invest his money in the company. He becomes a shareholder. In return, company gives him profit which it earns in proportion to his investment. If you have bought 1 share, you will get ₹1 per share, 2 per share, whatever is the ratio. If you have more shares, you will get more profit, less share, less profit, etc. So the profit that company gives is known as a dividend. So this is what the meaning of your colleague, your friend was. Okay, we proceed. One of you said it can buy asset. Someone of you have said it can pay dividend to shareholders. What is next?
So pay tax.
It can pay taxes. Very correct. Next,
Taxes and debts.
taxes and
Debts, sir.
yes, that is what I have noted. It can pay taxes. What else can it do with the profit it has earned?
So retain that profit.
Retain that profit. Can you say some other simple word?
Reinvest in business.
Reinvest or
Saving.
saving. So for an ordinary person, we can say the profit it has earned, it can distribute, it can save also. You are right. It can save. Let us just keep ourselves to these four reasons only. Buying asset, dividend to shareholders, taxes, retain or save. Just take one more, let us say, can you reorder these four things now? What should it do first? What should be the first?
Dividend to shareholder.
No.
Sir, taxes.
Yes. See, taxes are something which are the most important in any country. So first, use of the profit that company will be obliged, company will be forced because it's working in an environment. The first thing company should do will be the payment of taxes. What should be the next?
Dividend.
Next will be dividend. What will be third?
Buying asset.
Buying asset.
Buying assets.
Say it again.
Buying assets, sir.
No. First, it will decide about saving. This much it wishes to keep reserve, and then it will buy the asset. Then it will invest. All right. The purpose of asking you this question and seeking answers from you has been served by for the purpose of explanation of his statement. So one of the uses of the profit company did was that it decided to save. How much taxes it decided to save? Sorry, not taxes. How much amount it decided to save this year? It is available.
5,000.
It is available on your screen, 5,000. Because it is 10, it is 15. That means in this year, company decided to save 5,000. You will be very easily able to understand now how much profit company earned in this year.
10,000.
10,000. Because previous balance was 5, now balance is 15. So your observation is correct that it earned a profit of 10,000. Is it really 10,000 or more? Look at these two figures simultaneously and tell me.
So it is 15,000, sir.
It is 15,000 because this 10,000 is there only after this 5,000 has been transferred to reserve. That means profit was more by 5,000, which company tried to save, which company transferred to reserve. That means this figure should be added. This figure, that is the difference between this reserve and this reserve, should be added to this. Let me tell you in another word, this figure 10 and 15, this difference means money has not gone out anywhere. It is simply a book entry. You call this as non-cash expenses. What do you call these? Non-cash.
Non-cash.
Because money has not gone out. It is only keeping money from one pocket to another pocket. You had some money in one pocket, you took out and put it in another pocket. So it was transferred to reserve, it will be added back. Now come to, if this part is clear to you, this part you have understood, come to this figure. Discount on issue of shares. It was 5,000, it is 10,000 here. What does it mean? How would you interpret this? Okay. Before I ask you this question, how many of you are clear about the meaning discount on issue of shares? I'm sure several of you may not be clear. So this is where the problem lies. You ask me if this is not clear, instead of sitting here, you tell me if this word or the term which is mentioned or available on our screen does not make any sense to us, explain to us. I would have explained to you. You know the meaning of issue of shares. I hope you all know meaning of issue of shares. A share of rupees 10. A share of rupees 10. Suppose company is selling for rupees 10. The face value of a share is rupees 10. Company is selling it for rupees 10. What do we call this? Issue at?
Face value.
Say it again.
Face value.
Issue at par. P-A-R. They call it issue at par. When a share of rupees 10 is issued at rupees 11, what do we call?
Premium.
Issue at premium. When a share of rupees 10, when a share of rupees 10 is issued at rupees 9, what is it called?
Discount.
Discount. So that means the figure which is here is referring to this only, that discount on issue of shares. This is the meaning of word discount on issue of shares. This company, the balance sheet of which is on the screen, must have issued some shares on discount. Here the figure is 15,000, here the figure is 10,000. What is the conclusion?
So more shares at the starting and less shares at the later
Any
stage.
other explanation? Now let me explain to you. This concept may not be clear to several of you. When company issues share at discount, it is in a sense, it is a loss to the company, isn't it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is the loss to the company. Now, loss in routine cases is taken out from the revenue, from the profit, and the net amount is taken as profit and loss in ordinary cases. In case of a sole trader, in case of a partnership, whatever is the loss, that is adjusted against the revenue and net profit is considered. But in case of a company, such losses are not calculated like this. Number one. Number two, the amount of this loss usually is quite huge. Amount is this loss that company suffers because of issuing a shares at discount is quite huge. So what happens if this entire loss, the year in which it has taken place, is not considered as a loss for that year only? It is spread over to several years, 3, 4, 5 years. Let us say 5 years. So discount which company has given on shares, it is a loss, and company does not consider this loss only in 1 year. It divides it into 5 years, 3 years. Each year it reduces it by passing accounting entries only. It passes accounting entry, it reduces that losses only in the books by passing entries. Nothing goes out of the company, no cash loss, nothing happens, but only accounting entries are made. This is known as losses written off or discount on issue of shares. What did I say? Written off. WRITEON-OFF. So this is written off. Only accounting entry is made. In 1 year it was 15, next year 10, next to next year could be 5, next to next year it could be 0. So this process is known as discount on shares, issue of shares written off. So this 5,000 rupees would have been written in the profit and loss account without any outflow of cash. Without any outflow of cash. Remember the word I am using it repeatedly, outflow of cash. What are we making? We are making funds flow statement. So there has been no outflow of funds. There has been no outflow of funds. Therefore, this 5,000 will be added back to the profit. Like here, you see the cursor? Isn't it? There was no outflow. There was no outflow. You see the cursor here, 10, 15. What had happened? Was there any outflow of money from the company? Did money go out anywhere? Like,
No, sir.
No, you're right. Like in this case, if we take this example, 2050. In this case, what happened? 30 went out of the company. Rupees 30,000 were reduced, was outflow. Here, 25,000 was inflow. Here, 15,000 was inflow or outflow? Debenture.
Outflow.
Outflow because 15,000 were paid back. In this respect, similarly, in this case, was anything inflow or outflow? There was no inflow, there was no outflow. Therefore, this money will be added back. Like there was inflow, outflow everywhere. In this particular example, reserves, in this particular example, there have been no inflow, no outflow. Therefore, because this was reduced, profit would have been reduced, so we will add it back. Same will be true with, before I proceed, let me tell you, the discount on issue of shares is given in the books for the purpose of teaching. It can be explained for the purpose of academic exercise. It can be explained in real life. If we talk about today, there will be no concept called discount on issue of shares. It means in real life, at least today, earlier it was there, earlier on it was definitely there, but today this concept does not exist. When I say this concept does not exist, what do I mean? I have said the concept of, think over it for a minute or so. I said that the concept of discount on issue of share does not exist. What does it mean?
No company issue share below its the face value. Right?
You are absolutely right. Tell me again, so that others may also, listen to it.
Sir, no company issued its share below its face value.
No company issues share below. Say it again. You are right. Say it again. Below
Below its face value.
Below its face value. Correct. No company issues share these days below its face value. Okay. Usually what companies do?
They issued at premium, sir.
Issues at premium. Correct. Now, here is what you need to do today. I am just writing. Just hold on for a second. Wait for a few. Give me 2 minutes. I am just writing what you are supposed to do. The discussion you have heard now. Where were we? We were at explaining that these days, one of your friend has said, companies issue shares. Companies never issue shares at discount. Companies issue shares at premium. I am writing what you are supposed to do. Hold on for just a minute or two. I am writing in the chat box. I have posted that now in the chat box. I'll read it also. Look at various IPOs of recent past. Compile a table of 5 such IPOs in the columns serial number, name of the company, face value, price band, opening and closing date. You will find, although the meaning of price band here, I'll explain to you. Price band means, let us say value of a share is rupees 10. Value of share, face value of a share is rupees 10. And company is issuing it for rupees 300. It will not write only 300. It will write 300 and 315. 310. Anything. Any two range. Any two range. So that range is known as price band between two things. So you visit, look at various sources and find out, compile a table of only 5 such IPOs. That you do. Now we come back to what we were discussing.
Sir, Kanishka.
Hold on for a second. Hello? Hold on for a second. Now we go to where were we? So we were here, a discount on issue of shares, and I explained to you that there was no outflow, it was only a book entry. Same holds good, same is true for this item also. Preliminary expenses were 10, here 5, it is only a book entry, there is no outflow of funds. When there is no outflow, it will be added back. How will it be added back? I explained to you in the next slide. Is the meaning of this term clear to all of you? Preliminary expenses?
Sir,
Is there any one of you who does not understand its meaning? All right. If you have understood, good. So this is no outflow, therefore it will be added back. So in some cases I told it will be added back, in some cases this is how we will do. We come to the...
sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
So what was the use of giving discounts on share values?
Okay. What was? Earlier on, as I said to you before also, that today these are things of the past. These are all non-existent things. Earlier, if I say, and I talk about something about 50 years ago, maybe even, okay, let us say 50 or 30, 40 years ago. When do you give discount on something?
You want to sell more.
You want to sell more.
Higher.
Okay. Any other reason? Somebody said when there is no?
When there is no demand.
Yes. When there is no demand, or to be very precise, we should say when demand is less than the supply. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
It will be appropriate to say when demand is less than the supply. I am saying once again, earlier 30, 40 years ago, company wanted to sell shares in the market. Suppose it wanted to sell 1 lakh shares. It anticipated that these 1 lakh shares cannot be sold in the market. There will not be buyers. So it could have said, okay, fine, although the price value of a share is rupees 10, face value is rupees 10, but we will give you for rupees 9. So in this way, it could have attracted some shareholders. Once again, let me emphasize 10, 40, 50 years ago. Why was it 40, 50 years ago? Why is it that companies were selling or used to sell at discount? Because in underdeveloped countries or developing, those days underdeveloping, you can say, the concept of stock market or the concept of companies, the concept of investment in shares was not very popular. Was not very popular. People were scared of investing money in a business. So companies used to give discount, attract, investors. The situation is reversed today. The situation is reversed. Hundreds and thousands and millions of people are willing to invest in the company. Therefore, companies are not at all, never in the recent past are selling their shares, initial public offering, IPO, at a discount, but at huge premium. That is why I wanted you to search for yourself, find out what is the price band, and once you make a list, once we have got sufficient data, I'll be able to provide you insight about that then. Have I answered to your question, why does a company issue shareholder?
Thank you.
Got it. Let me take you a bit historical, perspectives also. We all know the world leader, not leader as on date, but naturally somebody whose contribution in the automobile industry can never be forgotten. Whose contribution in the automobile industry? Henry Ford. Yes, Henry Ford. What was the name of his car?
Ford Motors.
What was the name?
Model T.
What was the name of engine that he started with? So he had this idea of making engines. Now engines and the car and the whatever he wanted to make, I'm saying something about could be by now around 150 years old story. So he wanted huge money, and naturally alone he could not. He was not able to attract more money from bank. Rather, he had no desire to take money from bank. He was very much confident of his venture, so he visited his close relatives, which these days is known as private placement. He visited his close relatives and wanted to raise money, wanted to convince them, okay, you give me money, I'll give you proportionate return. It was a concept like limited liability company of those days. So one of his aunt gave him some money, several other relatives also, but that lady gave him more money. And the appreciation that was there was no concept like stock exchange. There was no concept like listing of shares. It was purely on his personal accounting, on his personal this thing that he continued. So when what he did, he borrowed, he took their money not as a loan but as shares. So that in those days, if I'm able to recall correctly, turned out to be a return of more than 1.33 lakh % increase was returned. So those days he could be said as informal pioneer of collecting money in the form of shares. But these days, earlier it was possible on a discount. These days nobody does. So that is the concept. Now, having understood those things, we start with the final statement. And that statement I have put in on this screen. Now, we start with the closing balance of profit loss. This we have taken from the balance sheet. For the time being, if you forget about second, third, fourth, fifth, just come to sixth. Look at first, look at sixth. If you have closing balance at 15, opening balance as 5, what will be the answer? From 15, if you subtract 5, it will be 10. That means company has made a profit of rupees 10, which was evident there. But we need to make lot of adjustment. We have added, look here, add, transfer to reserve, because it is non-cash expense. We are adding discount on share because nothing has gone out. It is non-cash expense. We are adding preliminary expenses written off because nothing has gone out. We are adding depreciation because nothing has gone out. So we added all, and what we subtracted? We subtracted opening balance. So how much is our profit from business operation? Profit from business operation becomes 32,000. What was the profit given in the balance sheet? Profit given in the balance sheet is how much? 5, 15, 10 only. And what is the real profit? Real profit is 32. How much was shown in the balance sheet? Just come on. What was the figure shown in the balance sheet?
10,000.
10,000. What is the profit in real sense?
15,000.
15 or 32?
32.
32,000. Now, look, wait here for a minute.
Sir, but you said the total profit was 15,000 in balance sheet.
Okay.
If we add reserves and
If we add a reserve, if not only reserve, several things have been added, isn't it? Because
Yes,
it is
sir.
non-cash expense, it is non-cash expense, it is non-cash expense, it is also non-cash expense. So therefore, real profit is 32. What I was saying, something very important. Recall the day when we started front flow statement. Why are we making front flow statement? It is to make the balance sheet simpler for understanding of its users. If somebody looks at the balance sheet, he will conclude that the profit was only 10,000. We have simplified it. The real profit was not 10 in that year. Real profit in that year was 32 because all these were non-cash. So at times figures can be added, at times figure can be subtracted, and then only we reach the real figure. So this serves the purpose of users of balance sheet. If you can recall, you'll be able to relate it properly. I have just written here, perhaps, if you look at the figures in profit loss account, there is an increase of 10,000 from previous year to current year. Can we say during the year profit was 10,000? If not, because there have been so many adjustments which are illustrated below. So the purpose of making profit loss account is served because we know now what is the real profit. Real profit was 32. It makes a lot of difference when you say 10,000 profit and when you say profit of rupees 32,000. Once we have calculated profit from this business operation also, we prepare a fund flow statement. Final statement we prepare. These figures all have been taken, which we worked out before. I have shown you the calculation, how have we arrived at this sale of furniture, how have we arrived at this 25, how did we arrive at this. We have shown the calculation before. This all we have done. So this total of both sides will be equal. If total of both sides is equal, our exercise is correct. Sources we have listed, applications we have listed, and our answer is correct. Now, before I conclude, look at this slide which I am showing you now. Okay, this slide now is not there. I will be sharing that slide with you through Google Classroom today itself, inshallah. That slide again is more or less similar to what is appearing here. What all you will be required to do is to prepare a statement like the one that I have said. Not immediately, take your time, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 days, but prepare it. And once you have prepared it, see, you try to do it on your own with the help of your friends, but never ever copy it from somebody. You will not be able to learn. You try to solve it yourself because solution is already with you, a template is already with you. If you cannot consult your friends, if still as a group of 3-4 you still are not in a position to arrive at a solution, I am available here. You discuss with me. So with this, I was a bit confident that I will be able to continue like this, and we will try to complete the course in time because forthcoming sessions are very, very easy. So we close The class. Just one second. Yes, please.
So why before discount on issue of shares was given?
No,
Like nowadays it is not given.
Can you?
Why before it was given?
No, just one second. Just one second. Can you tell me what you wanted to say it again?
So why before discount on issue of shares was given? Like nowadays it is not given. Why in old times it was given?
No, it is just for the purpose of illustration. It was for the purpose of illustration that there are several items which we call as non-cash expenses, which are to be adjusted, which are to be subtracted or added in the balance sheet. It was explained to you. It was given only for the purpose of academic explanation. In real life, these do not exist today.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we close the meeting now, and we will meet tomorrow, inshallah, once again.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.